Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews. So, as it turns out, there are actually even more Mojo Fun figures coming out for the 2020 year than I had anticipated. As you can tell right away, one of which is a Green Tyrannosaurus Rex, which is interesting because I recently stated in the Brown Tyrannosaurus Rex review that a few years ago they had released a very cool looking Tyrannosaurus Rex that came in both a brown and green color scheme. But at that time I stated that this year we were only getting a brown version. Well, clearly I was wrong and was unaware of the fact that a green one was coming, so it was quite a surprise when I opened the box and found this very cool greenish version of their newest Tyrannosaurus Rex. So, without further ado, let's get a look at this one right now. So since we've already reviewed the sculpt of this Tyrannosaurus Rex, we don't really need to take a look at the sculpt again. I will actually link you guys down in the description to the initial review I did of this Tyrannosaurus Rex, the brownish version that we had originally received, so you can get a very detailed look at the sculpt and everything, and a much more thorough review of the dinosaur overall in that initial review. So make sure you check down in the description so you can check out the initial Brown Rex review down there. So as far as what is different on this Rex as opposed to the previous version, well, straight away we can see that this one is green, which the other one was brown. But looking at the head sculpt, of course it's got the articulated jaw, all the same fun stuff that we had on the brownish version. The tongue in there is the same exact color. Everything as far as the sculpt and detail is the same. And you can see that the teeth appear to be painted pretty nicely. There actually might be a little bit of sloppiness. See, they look a little bit sloppy over here, and actually some of the red from the inside of the mouth has run down onto the jaw of my Rex, but I'm certain that this is not something that you're going to see on every figure. It's kind of probably just a freak accident on mine, so I wouldn't be too worried about that. But you can see that there is a little bit of sloppiness in the mouth department. They don't look too bad, but this part right here with the reddish coloration coming down is a little bit of a downside for sure. But again, like I said, I don't think the others would have that. That's probably just a situation going on here with mine. Aside from that, you can see some really nice variations of green throughout the head sculpt. You've got kind of like a little bit of a lighter green that transitions to a very dark green that runs right here along the jawline on the upper and lower jaw. And then you can see that it transitions to a nice lighter green, but has a really nice, very light dry brushing of like a grayish type of a color that does help to give the detail a nice jump when it comes to its overall appearance. Really makes that detail kind of pop out at you. You can see it up here. It honestly runs the entire upper side of the figure and does help to give the figure some pretty nice color variation and really help to show you how nice the sculpt overall is. You can see that the eye area is painted with like a blackish coloration that kind of borders around the eye, similar to what you see with most Rex figures, honestly, and I really do think that is a very good touch. It really helps to elaborate the eye overall, and you can see the eye is painted with a yellowish color and a black pupil, which is really beautifully glossed. And we can see on the opposing side, same deal, really nice looking eye paint. It does not appear to be sloppily done or anything like that. So that is a really nice area of this dinosaur, and that gloss coat on it helps to give it an extremely realistic eye shine. Beautifully done for sure. And again, you can see a few different color variations here when it comes to the green. You can see the darker green that I was talking about before, but you can also see slightly different shades of green between here and here. And then again, the really nicely dry brushed kind of grayish color. As we lead down into the neck, you can continue to see variations of green creeping through, like a little bit of a darker green there, and then darker greens up here, and then a little bit of a lighter green there. Same deal when we get down here into the body. You continue to see those different variations of green all over the place. Very dark green right here, and you can also kind of see like some dark green striping throughout the leg area, but you can also see that the arms darken up as we transition down into those black fingers. So there is quite a bit of color variation throughout, and again, that dry brushing of that lighter color continues to run down, really nicely highlighting all of those very large osteoderms that kind of come down the spinal column of the animal and then run along the upper part of the rib cage. And then you can see that the same deal runs out here on the tail. It highlights those osteoderms, but also highlights the beautiful sculpt and detail here on the upper part of the tail. The underside is a very light coloration, a nice light white. And you can see that once we transition down onto the feet also have that dark blackish type of a color. And it really does look quite cool because some areas kind of have the green creeping through and some areas have the black, so it helps to give it a really cool variation of color throughout the feet. I really do quite like that. The underside, again, like I said, has a very nice, very light white coloration. It's actually quite bright, but I think it plays off of the green really well, and overall it's quite the appealing looking green Tyrannosaurus Rex. As far as a size goes, this Rex will probably be exactly the same as the previous version. So for a length about 11.5 inches or about 29 centimeters, and for a height about 4 3/4 inches or around 12 centimeters. And to show you that this is around the same size as the previous version, there is the brown and green version together, and in kind of a shocking turn of events for me, if you look up here at the top, it actually appears as though the green one may be a little bit shorter than the brown one when it comes to the overall length, because the greenish version's tail is curled just a little bit more so than the brownish version. So that is interesting. I don't know if they're all like that, and if they are, that's pretty cool because it does give a little variation between the two when they are otherwise the exact same sculpt. But I do think that is quite interesting. Regardless, it is awesome of Mojo to have released a green and brown version, giving you options when it comes to buying their Tyrannosaurus Rex for the 2020 year. Personally, I think I'm a little bit more partial to the brown one. I don't know what it is, I just really love the color tones, the tones of brown that they've chosen here, almost like a reddish brown. But the green one is definitely really quite cool as well. Again, if you want a more thorough review of this figure overall, some more size comparisons and a more detailed review of the actual sculpt, make sure you check down in the description, head on over to the previous Tyrannosaurus Rex review from Mojo Fun of the brown version, and that one will give you your fix of Mojo Fun Tyrannosaurus Rex. But as of right now, looking at this green one, I really do quite like it a lot. I think the greens that they've used all look really quite natural, and all the paint is beautifully applied, very nicely applied with an airbrush, and you can see that it all looks really, really good. Of course, there are some areas that clearly have been applied with a paintbrush, as they have dry brushed that really nice kind of like a light gray type of a color over top of many different areas of the dinosaur, helping to really bring out that detail and kind of make it pop a little more so than had they not included that. And it also helps to give it a little color variation as well. There is quite a bit of green going on with this Tyrannosaurus Rex, as well as you do see numerous variations of green included, helping to give it some really quite nice, realistic, lifelike skin tone all over the dinosaur as far as the many different greens used. Again, it looks really good as far as this paint scheme goes. Not quite as nice in my opinion as the brownish version, but again, that is just my opinion, and some people may like the greenish version better, so luckily Mojo Fun has given you the option of choosing which you would like, so make sure that when this does come into stock on DeJenkins.com and EverythingDinosaur.com, you can go ahead and pick up whichever version you would like. I actually do believe these are currently in stock, along with pretty much the entire Mojo Fun 2020 line, on Minizoo. So if you happen to have ever shopped on Minizoo, I do believe these are all in stock currently on Minizoo. It's a very cool Tyrannosaurus Rex from Mojo Fun, so make sure that you buy this when you do officially see this in stock on either Everything Dinosaur, DeJenkins, or Minizoo. And make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.